Alright, so now we have our GUI text. Let's go ahead and create a couple of buttons, and we're going to be doing that by going up to our GUI texture. Let's go to Game Object, Create Other, GUI Texture, and we're going to have to create another one for our two buttons. Alright, so as you can see by default, we have this Unity logo as our texture. Now you can adjust the settings in here. You can adjust the color overlay. You can adjust the pixel inset. Once again, you can move it left or right. I'm going to go ahead and disable one of these. You can see I'm moving it up and down. Let's just move it a little bit to the center. That looks good right there. And the width and height is representative by the width and height of our actual texture. So this texture is 128 by 58. Then we have the left border and our right border. Now, this is more easily understood if you click on this little button right here. Click on it and you should see a documentation pop up. And that represents the left border right here, the right border right here, the top border right here, and the bottom border. Now what this is good for is for creating stuff like this. So in this instance, we could create the corners of this GUI right here. And rather than creating this whole bar right here, we would just create a little snippet and just use the left border or right border to essentially extend it out. So we have a very, very small texture that's just being multiplied over and over again to give us this effect. So it's a quick and easy way to create a simple GUI with a very small texture. So that's what the left and right borders are. Right here we can see we're just duplicating our actual texture. And same thing with the top border and bottom border. So since we are just using one single button, let's go ahead and change these to 0. Alright, so now we need our buttons. Let's go ahead and import our buttons. I have a couple here that I created in Photoshop, so I'm just going to drag them in. Alright, so we have our exit button and our play button. So now let's go ahead and replace the texture in here. And I'm going to go ahead and rename these first so I don't get confused. It's going to be play, press enter, and this one is going to be our exit button. So click on play, and under the texture area, go ahead and select your texture button. Alright, so we have our play button here, and once again, the width and height is representative of the texture, so we need to change these. And the actual width and height of it is 150 by 45. And that is the actual width and height of our actual texture of our play button. So it looks much better now. Alright, let's just go ahead and raise it up a bit. Alright, so now we have our play button. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for our exit button. And this one, once again, is also 150 by 45. And I'm going to take a look at my play button. I'm going to go with negative 11.9 by 56 for the same for our exit button. Alright, and the Y value is going to be a little bit different. So now if we go ahead and hit play, we can see that the GUI is attached to our first person controller. And obviously we don't want a moving GUI like this. So let's go ahead and press play. Select our main camera. We can deselect our GUI layer. And if we just go ahead and deselect our first person controller here as well, select our camera and make sure it's checked on. Alright, so you can see right now we have our main camera basically with our GUI layer here. I'm going to go ahead and select maximize on play, and now we hit play. And now we have a very basic intro to our game. We have a island escape GUI text, and we have our different buttons right here. Now you can script these buttons to actually have a function. You can hit play and it'll send you to the first scene. You can hit exit and it will return to this scene. But that is the basics of using a GUI texture in Unity. So now you know how to create a GUI text and a GUI texture.